Wondered why you get a hangover from wine? Nikki's here to tell you on her week 2 of wine tasting and testing. Hi, Nikki.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. I'm interested to learn about your red wines. So do tell us before we start, why is it we get a hangover from wine? Well, I certainly do.
Yeah, so the hangover is if you're allergic to sulfites. And do you know what sulfites are?
No.
So sulfite it's the byproduct from the fermentation process. It's a natural reaction, and some people are allergic to it, and it gives them that hangover the next day. Some wines are low in it, some wines are higher. Some things increase the sulfites in the wine. So generally, for example, if you're importing a wine, they tend to transport it in big containers via the ship and just do it very slowly over the sea. So there's no disturbance. If you have disturbance to the wine, it creates more sulfite. So they often transported very slowly across the sea and then bottled at the destination. So you'll find here in Southampton, there's quite a few bottling distilleries where they're getting your wine from abroad. Another thing also sometimes, which is why wine is quite high in sulfite, the manufacturers add sulfite to disguise a bad wine.
Oh, interesting.
So you won't know, but that's also another...
We're going to learn about that. And the other thing you were mentioning to me, when a wine has had it, you're going to tell us how to test it as well.
Indeed, we'll come on to that towards the end.
Right, guys, so tune in. Want to know more? Right, let's go. Okay, Nikki, carry on.
So, let's start with the French reds that we tasted, that I went wine tasting.
Yes.
The other night. And so we covered reds by region, because France, they tend to do their wines by region.
Yeah.
We had 6 wines to taste, and we did the normal taste test, which if you listen to the French white, we covered about how you taste wine and test it, but we'll cover that again now.
That again. Yeah, so for listeners, that was our previous podcast we did on white wine. So if you're interested in white wine, go back and listen to that. So continue, Nikki.
Yeah, so with the red wine, you're going to look at the colour, just like you did with the white.
Yeah.
With white, we're looking how golden and darker the white wine was, yellowy. Whereas now red, you're going to look how dark and deep the red colour is. So you just look down, you've got your wine on the table, look down, peer over the glass, and can you see the stem of the glass through the wine? Through the wine, yeah. And then, so that's just, that kind of determines the body of the wine, how much body, when I mean it's like when you have it in your mouth, does it linger around? Like, I suppose if you had to compare, when I say body, red milk and red top milk and blue top milk, in other words, full cream or semi or skimmed
milk.
That's the body in the milk. That's when I talk about bodies.
Right, understand. Okay.
Then the next thing you probably do is you go and smell it. So you swirl the glass around, and the reason you're swirling it around is because you want to aerate the wine, because that brings out all the, get some molecules, get the smell to your nose. Put your nose over the glass or close to the glass. And with red wine, you're going to generally smell either red fruit or black fruit. So red berries.
Yeah.
So do you smell red cherries, strawberries, pomegranate, or do you smell blackberries? In other words, bramble, prunes, fig, plum, and even sometimes jam. One of the wines we covered has that kind of like sweeter jam flavour. So
which one do you prefer?
I like blackberries because I like sweeter wine. So I like not sweet red wine, but like a sweeter plum, like a fruitier. I like a fruitier,
me too.
Jammy wine with not too much tannin or acid.
No. Okay.
So that's the smell, and actually probably you could smell one thing, fruit, and I could smell another thing. There's no right or wrong in a way.
The choice, personal. So it comes back to personal choice.
And again, you might smell strawberries, and mine might smell something else. Maybe I don't know, pomegranate. And when when you taste it, we could both smell strawberries, and then when we taste it, I'll say, oh, that's nice, and you'll say, yucks. We've all got different tastes, different senses and different tastes kind of thing. So don't worry if you're smelling wine and you smelling one thing
Something else.
and somebody's smelling something else. So let me go on to the most important part, which is tasting.
Oh, yes. Can't have a red wine and not taste it.
Definitely not. So, what I wanted to mention is, red wine will never be 100% perfect on its own, just drinking it. It's not a drinking wine. Very rarely will you get a red wine that's 100%
just on its own, on a drink.
It has to be paired with the right food.
Yes, you were saying to sort of finish it off.
It's all about pairing it with red wine. But when we did our wine tasting, it was just actually tasting the wine.
Yeah.
So never mind, it's okay. But she does also do wine tastings and pairing courses as well.
Which type of food?
That's it.
So pairing it with
the school of wine that we went to.
And then she'll be doing the different foods for different types of wine.
So, but again, just think of it that red wine is square, but when you pair it with the food, it becomes round and smooth.
Interesting. Yeah, that's why it always tastes better, isn't it?
Of course, exactly.
Have a wine with your meal.
Yep, and that's it. So the taste test is the same as, like I say, with the white wine. So you literally take a sip, try to get air into it, whether you're going to swish it around your mouth or just breathing in through, pursing your lips and breathing in 3 times, like that.
Like a kissing?
Like kissing, exactly. Or just swish it around if you can't do that. And then, so once you've got the air in there, see what you can taste. The main things you're looking for is the body of the wine.
Yep.
Tannin and acidity.
Yes, you were saying.
Yeah.
So explain that to the listeners.
So, white wines, we cover the acidity and body. And with France, the same would apply.
Yeah.
That the north of France produces more acidic wine than the south. So the acidity is like when your glands can reduce saliva, like how much saliva gets pumped into your mouth afterwards.
Almost like sucking on a lemon.
Yeah, maybe not as bad as that, but yeah, you can just feel your mouth filling up with saliva afterwards.
Yeah.
And actually with white wine, it's quite nice. It's quite refreshing when you have a cold white wine, and it does that in the summer, kind of, I find. But everything's personal choice. Here in England, we do tend to have a preference or a taste for the more acidic wine, drier wines. So the other thing I was saying was the first thing was tannin.
Right.
And so tannin, do you know what tannin is?
No.
Okay. So tannin is that when you have a cup of tea, a really strong cup of tea, and it leaves that in your mouth, you've got that flavour of a black tea probably, and it leaves your mouth maybe furry.
Yeah. Don't tell me that too well.
That kind of
tannin.
Yep, that's what tannin is.
Gives you the darker tea.
And they have it in the wine as well. And do you know where it comes from?
No.
Right. So tannin is from the grape skin and stem, and also from the barrels where the wine is kept in, the oak barrels. So with red wine, when the juice is pressed, the skin and the stems are added back to the juice
of the red and the wine. It's not
into the wine.
The wine,
and that produces that tannin flavour. So how you test tannin?
Yeah.
You take a small sip and you hold the wine under the top of your lip, like in your gums, and just hold it for a little bit, maybe 3 seconds, and just start to feel, how does your gums feel? Does it feel dry, furry, tingling, numb, or even sometimes with some of the red wines we taste it burning? And the stronger the tannins, obviously, that worse that feeling is. And to be honest, sometimes you can just actually taste it. That's the way a wine connoisseur would taste it. But you will know something's tannin-y, isn't it? You'll feel that dryness and that furriness in your mouth.
Well, I do, geez.
And like saying, tannin can be described as a wine connoisseur. You would describe it as coarse or rough, or silky and smooth. And a rule of
silky and smooth sounds better to me.
But everyone's different. Everyone likes. I don't like tannin
at
all, but some people like it quite. They like that tannin kind of flavour. And again, paired with the right food.
Yeah.
So then, I guess I'm going to make a point with regarding to tannin. The general rule of thumb is the more tannin a red wine has, the less acidic it tends to be. So it balances out. Generally, the general rule of thumb.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's like anything comes to balance. So do tell us as we end off. You're going to tell us, remember?
What's that? About, what was I going to say? Tell you about what?
Pour it to see Remember the colour you were telling me about amber?
Oh yes, when we were talking about colour, we were indeed. Yeah. So then we'll come towards the end of that. But it was about the aging of wine.
The aging. That's
so
right.
often you have people who make money out of it, age the wine. And what I didn't know was I thought you have to have a cellar. No, you don't. You can buy a fridge, a little fridge, maybe 100 quid online. And I'm not sure of the temperature and all the procedures behind it, but you can store it in that fridge at a certain temperature, and it does exactly the same thing as having a cellar. However, you do have to get your wine certified regularly by somebody if you were wanting to sell it and make money. So like you have your MOT car testing.
Yeah, you get the wine tested.
Yeah, you have to get the wine tested kind of thing that you are, if you are wanting to, like a service history.
Yeah.
Basically, maybe not NFT, but service history. You have to have a sample of wine if you're going to make some money out of it. And so, when you look at the colour, test colour, apart from like we said, you look down the deepness of the red wine, but if you put your finger in the front of the glass, wine glass, on the rim where the red wine is, and then you tilt the glass forward, and then the wine's going over your finger on the glass, then you look at that colour
through the glass.
Through the glass.
You're looking through the glass, guys. And you're not tipping it out, just looking through
the glass, and then you see the wine above you, the colour of the wine above your finger. That will tend to be, as the wine ages, become more amber in colour.
Yes.
And then I would probably say if it's brown, it has gone too far.
That's it.
Throw it out.
Been duped.
Yep.
Been duped, guys. Yeah. So, okay.
So
amber's the best colour, yeah?
Yeah.
For an aged wine, we're going to go amber. Right. Thank you, Nikki. And do tell us, you can tell me your favourite one was from guess where, guys?
Yeah.
Your local?
Of the six wines we tasted, my favourite was from Aldi.
Aldi, guys.
It was from the Roussillon area of France, and it was a blended wine of Carignan, Grenache and Syrah. Excuse the French, I can't say things properly. But it was an IGP 2018. So IGP is how the French characterize or classify the quality of wine, and 2018 is the vintage.
Right.
And guess how much it was?
Go on, tell us.
I really thought I had an expensive taste in life.
Yeah, so did I. Take off to me. Go on, how was it? Tell us.
£4.50.
Oh, you are a cheap lady. £4.50, guys.
Yeah.
From Aldi.
That's it.
Okay, well that's interesting.
If you can get it, I'm sure you can still get it. I've got a bottle of it. And like saying the IGP, what that means is it's not the best of the best wine. It's an everyday French wine. Your classification is, you have the bottom of it is Vin de France. And by the way, all these categorizations you will see on the bottle. It will be written on the bottle, sometimes in very small writing.
Right.
But Vin de France is the basic French quality wine. Then you get IGP or Vin de Pays. And this is your everyday French wine, like the Aldi wine.
Yes.
And it's the regional destination is less strict, with more grape varieties allowed. Whereas the top of the wine is AOC or AOP, and this is France's highest and most rigid classification system. And wines labeled after this, they call it an appellation, will have a specific set of grapes that they're legally allowed to use in that area. And it was all tested. So yeah, look out on your wine for the AOC or AOP, or is it IGP or VDP is the other name, European name, or it's table wine, Vin de France, or Vin de Table. And then I think that's pretty much it.
So
we covered.
So to be a wine connoisseur, it's not it's not all about just glugging the damn thing down. It's about enjoying it, wishing it.
Burgundy is where the most expensive wines come from, and the Bordeaux region, because like I said, we cover the regions, but we don't have enough time to cover that. But Bordeaux is a good vintage from this region. If you're buying Bordeaux wine, a tip is go for a 2015 year, because like in our previous conversation, or when we did white wines, it's all about location and vintage is the French wine. Location, and then after location, it's the vintage.
The vintage.
So because of the climate. Again, I explained in the previous one about climate, how it
Yes.
affects the
You need
wine
to go back
quality.
and listen to that. Whoever listeners hasn't listened to that, I do suggest you go back and listen to that.
So yeah, so
This
fit
would be
your
an
Bordeaux,
idea.
go for
Bordeaux.
2015 for your Bordeaux. And just fun fact of the day, do you know what the highest selling red wine, French, or actually it's probably the highest selling wine in the UK is?
No,
red.
I don't. Yes, come on, you were going to tell me. I had to wait for this.
I know.
Yes, no, I don't.
It's the Shiraz.
A Shiraz.
So those of you who like Shiraz, you're one of the many. Yeah,
Thank
that's it.
you. Oh,
That's
that is,
it.
gosh, that is all. Wow, got a lot to digest there. Okay, so next week, what are you doing next week?
Is Italian wine.
Right, so we've gone French to Italian.
Mm-hmm.
So tune in next week, guys, and we're going to hear all about Italian. Thanks for listening.
Bye.